So, Xander, Mandalorian, The Mandalorian, episode 4. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked the part where they fighted the
ATST?
ATST.
Oh, we got to work on that if you don't know what that is.
I know what it is.
You know what it is?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as the AT-AT, but with just 2 legs and a shorter body.
Well, you know what's good about that episode? They kind of showed us how we should be calling them by their names. Because there's a big controversy out there that AT-ATs or AT-ATs. For years, I've called them AT-ATs. And for them to call them an AT-ST tells me that they should be called AT-ATs and AT-STs.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I thought the episode was one of the better of the 4. And the reason why is because I personally enjoy conversation between characters. And I felt like him being a loner, there was a lot of time in the first 3. Now, don't get me wrong, the first 3 are great. They're fantastic. But there's a lot of downtime in those 3 where he's not talking, where the Mandalorian is just roaming around and getting to point A to point B. Where in this episode, the Mandalorian actually was interacting with multiple people throughout.
Yeah.
Okay? And I really enjoyed that. One of the movies that everybody raves about is called Wilson, that Tom Hanks played in. And that's when he's marooned on an island. You remember that movie? Well, in that movie, he hardly ever talks. And I cannot stand movies like that. I want to hear dialogue, and I want to hear good dialogue. And I felt like the Mandalorian 4th episode gave us a little bit of everything. And it also gave us the feel of the Empire, even though the Empire was not controlling the AT-ST, it felt more like Star Wars to me. And to see the laser blast and it walking through the woods reminded me of Endor, you know?
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed this episode. Plus, now we have a love interest. And I can see all these characters coming together throughout the story and maybe creating a group of people that could band together to fight evil within this series. And I think that is that's very good that it could go that way. You know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it keeps going the same way that it's going now, I'm still going to like the series. I find the series very cool and awesome, and it makes me feel like when I was your age watching the original 3 Star Wars movies. And I find myself being very excited about them coming out every Friday instead of getting them all at once and being able to watch the whole series in 24 hours. I'm liking that we are able to
be able to see them.
Yeah, being able to anticipate what's going to happen next Friday. You know
like
what I mean?
Stranger Things, they just put them all out instead of.
Yes, and
I wanted it to be more slower so I could enjoy more of it.
I agree. Yes, and I'm glad that Disney Plus is putting them out once a week. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but between episodes 6 and 7, we won't have to wait 7 days. We'll only have to wait 5. But the problem that brings is we have to wait 9 days between episode 7 and the last episode. And I'm not sure why they're doing it that way, but I can't wait to get to the end of this. And I've also heard that they're creating a second one. Have you heard that? The second season?
I did not.
Yeah, I heard they're filming it right now. So that's very good. Now, what did you think of Baby Yoda in this episode?
Funny.
What was the funniest part about Baby Yoda?
When he ate the frog, but he spit it back out when he went to go play.
Oh, when the kids were all looking at him like, oh my God, he's fixing to eat that frog. And then he spit it back out. That was hilarious. That was very funny.
That's when they were playing, and the Mandalorian was like, I don't think they're gonna be fine. I don't think they're gonna be fine. I don't think they're gonna be fine.
Right, yeah, that was pretty cool because he's very protective of him, of Baby Yoda. And I thought what was pretty cool is that now we know that people have tracking devices on Baby Yoda. So they almost have to always stay on the run. And I think that could be good for the story instead of sitting in one place. You know, this episode seemed like, oh, they could stay here for 2 or 3 episodes. I'm glad they left at the end because of the tracking device. I thought that is, you know, I'd like to see them move around. And eventually, he's going to need all these characters to help him. So, with that said, what was your favorite part of this episode?
The
ATST?
Yeah, fight.
You're pretty tired. We must have stayed up and watched this thing at 3 in the morning.
We probably did.
We probably did.
And I've also been doing skateboarding all day.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good sport to pick up. So what do you look forward in the next episode?
I look for them having another big fight like the second one.
Second or the third? The third where he was trying to escape with him, with Baby Yoda. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think what I'm looking forward to is going to a different planet. We're starting to see different locations where the storyline is taking them. What?
I hope one day in the future, for a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars Series 8, I hope they go to Earth to see what it looks like then. To see what Earth looks like.
Well, Star Wars is played out in a galaxy far, far away. However, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So I guess they could come to Earth, but they might be coming to Earth before humans. Well, I mean, they could. A long time ago could be 100 years, could be 200 years, could be 5,000 years. If it's a few hundred years ago when Star Wars takes place, then they would be showing up to Earth
before humans, and they would make them the first humans.
Well, it's kind of hard to believe because they're already humans, right? So maybe humans are on another planet and some come here, created a new civilization, right?
Yeah, because we have seen people from Earth before in one of the Star Wars movies.
No, not in Star Wars. Not that.
I thought the dude that with the stormtrooper meets that they become friends of pilot. Not the dude with the red thing, bloody handprint. Not him, but his friend.
Poe Dameron?
Yeah, I thought
No.
he was from Earth.
No, he's not from Earth.
What about Rey?
No. She's from Jakku. Well,
That's right.
she's probably from somewhere else since she was dropped off at Jakku, but that's all she knows. And that was kind of strange.
Oh yeah, those two interact after a while.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
BB-8 and what is this?
BB-90.
Oh, okay. Would you like to show our audience how you play with him?
Yeah.
All right, let me.
There